This is we're taking a step back 10 years. Like everything that happened in the last 10 years, I think kind of just got washed away because we're now in the and I'm not making fun of it. I'm glad Frost's here, but
I'm making fun of it.
I think people got a little crazy, and
I'm making fun of it simply because everyone's making all this hoopla about Scott Frost coming back here and winning and turning our program around immediately and stuff like that. And I kept making statements that people just calm down. Let's see what happens because he hadn't coached a game here.
Yep.
What he did at Central Florida had no bearings on what he's going to do here.
Yep.
And now I think there's people who are now understanding that it's more to just a head coach coming in here and the type of head coach coming in here. All the pieces got to be there. And right now Nebraska doesn't have the pieces. And so what is showing people that maybe they did get their emotions, maybe they did get the expectations, set them too high for the first year, and maybe in the second year. So and I kept saying, take a step back, relax, let's see what happens. And after the first 2 games he's coached here, they're 0-2.
Yeah, I think it'd be good if people calm down a little bit. I think we jumped the gun, and everybody knows it's going to take.
We jumped the gun.
Well,
we didn't jump the gun. Maybe you did, and maybe everybody else did. I didn't.
I know I think everybody thinks it's going to take. Okay, so I told you that we didn't talk hardly at all before we got started. But the one thing I said, I thought it was interesting how many people said they're just okay. They were okay with the loss. Like there wasn't, they weren't upset. They just said, all right, well, we got the right talent, we got the right coaching staff, it's just not clicking, and everybody seemed to be very okay with that loss.
Why? I still don't. And
because the black shirts are back.
This is not saying anything negative towards the coaching staff or anything like that. I'm not. I refuse to say anything negative. But no one should be okay with losing, period. You think those coaches are okay with losing?
Definitely not.
You think those players are okay with losing? So why as fans should we be okay with losing? I'm not okay with losing. I think when you play every game you go out there and play, you should expect to win every game, and you shouldn't be okay. And as fans, you should be expect to win every game. It shouldn't be just okay. Oh, we lost. It's his first year here. No, you go out, you coach, you practice, you prepare to win every game. Now, will that happen? Not always, but don't just be okay that they lost. There's some things that need to change.
Oh.
Are they getting fired up already?
Yeah, there's some people. I mean, not bad, but
are they getting fired up already?
So Sherry said we fought to the end. I'm not saying we didn't play the game.
There we go again, a moral victory.
Yeah, see, that's where... we talked about this last week.
That's what's losing me when people say, well, at least we fought to the end. No. Fighters, look at boxing. They fight to the end, and if they get knocked out in the 12th round, does that mean, well, we fought to the end? You still, like last night, the boxing match, Triple G and Alvarez, they fought to the bitter end. Do you think Triple G is happy because he lost? He fought to the end.
Yeah.
No, so because they fought to the end, they still lost the game. Let's stop getting into moral victories, trying to find something positive. At the end of the day, at the end of the year, the record is not going to say, oh, they're 5-6 or they're this and that, but they fought to the end in a lot of those games. That's not what it's going to say. So stop settling for moral victories.
Well, if we go in, I'm going to be happy if we go in against Michigan, we compete, and if we lose by if the score to the Michigan game looks like what it was for the Troy game, I'd probably feel a little better about it. But we're giving moral victories against Troy. That teams like Troy that we not to take away from Troy, but they're not Nebraska.
Yeah, but I said last week on the show that Troy's not going to be a pushover. They're a lot better team than people thought they were. And they came here and they played Nebraska and they fought Nebraska
the whole
game. And you never once saw them waver. Even when Nebraska came back and got the game, 17-13, they never wavered. They just kept doing what they know how to do, and they found a way to make the plays to win the game. Nebraska didn't make those plays.
So, Miko, did I say that right? I hope I said that right. Miko Mexico is his name. So he makes the comment, and I know everybody, and we met, a lot. I got text about this. People said we cannot win a game when we do not have an athletic quarterback in place or the right quarterback or a walk-on quarterback in there. We're not able to win. What do you think about the quarterback play yesterday, and how did that wrap up to this whole loss? Is that to blame? Is it part of the blame?
I think it's part of the blame, but I don't think it's the whole blame. I saw he makes some bad mistakes on throws, yes. Did he miss some throws? Yes, but at the end of the day, you got to look at the offensive line as well. Yeah. They didn't protect like they did the first game. They didn't. I mean, there's times on run game there were guys 2 and 3 yards in the backfield before the run back even got the ball. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the bunch was the problem of the game. He cost Nebraska the game. No, it wasn't that. And who's to say if Martinez would have played, it would have been any different? Yeah. No one knows that. But so, and I don't want people saying, well, if Martinez was playing, the game would have been different. We don't know that. So I didn't see any change in the game plan than what they called with Martinez the week before to what they call this week. I just think that Troy was a better football team than most people expected. You got to keep in mind, this was a team who went into LSU last year and beat LSU. Yeah. They played Boise State close in the first game. So it's not like they're a cupcake. No, but it is safe to say that Nebraska should have handled this game, right? I mean, not to say that Troy wasn't going to compete, but Nebraska should have better talent, they should have been better prepared to handle this game. I thought Nebraska was going to win this game. I thought Nebraska was going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be a runaway. But I thought Nebraska should have won this game. But Troy owned us the whole game. Troy came out and threw the first punch. Turnovers again, tons of mistakes. Yes. Tons of mistakes. What I saw yesterday on both sides of the ball was an undisciplined team. Way too many turnovers, way too many penalties, made too many mental mistakes. Just like on the last touch, the second to last touchdown run, I saw, just watching from the defense side of the ball, I saw 3 guys run into the same gap. 3 guys, and one guy blocked one guy and another 3 guys. Yeah, that right there tells me that's not sound football. That they weren't prepared very well. And I know it's a young team. I know it's a young team. I know it's a young coaching staff, and I know they're still a work in progress. But if you can't play assignment sound football, that's type of stuff that's going to happen all year. You're going to lose games like this all year. Yeah, the penalties. They got to get control of those things. Yeah, they had 11 penalties the first week and 9, 10 this week. So you're talking about 21, 20 penalties in 2 games. That's you're not going to win very many games. No. Personal foul penalties. That means you're losing your cool. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. There's things you just got to take a step back and reevaluate. What are we doing? Are we doing too much too soon? Because if they're not mastering it, I keep saying this every year with coaching, when you say, well, the offense or defense, if you're not perfecting your base stuff, then why are you trying to do all this other stuff? You need something to fall back on. Yep. I'm not going to argue. Tone Armstrong says Frost wouldn't go 4th and 1 yesterday. What's that say about his O-line, the confidence? I don't think he has any confidence in him. And no, I think that would change. Now, week to week, people are going to play, and you're going to feel it out, right? Right. The situation. So I don't know if it's always exactly that, but it's probably fair that he's seen something in the O-line yesterday, because Colorado game he was going for it. I think and we seen better confidence it looked like in the Colorado. Well, I think the first game he was just trying to make a statement. He was trying to show this. I'm not going to be afraid to do this. Be afraid to do that. Yesterday, I thought on 4th and 1, you played a field position game. Yeah. Don't give your team, put your team in a bad spot. So I agree with punting the ball there, not going for it on 4th and 1. And because if you're thinking that your defense is playing well, you're hoping that your defense go out and stop them or stop them from scoring. So me personally, I thought that was the right call. And he's not the only one that would have made that call. Even Alabama, 4th and 1, who has a warning running game, they probably would have punted the ball in that situation, because it's all about field position and managing the game the right way, giving yourself the best chance to win. Yeah. Jamie says hi multiple times. So hello, Jamie. Cassie says, "What's your thoughts on the Barry targeting call?" Well, it was dumb. It was a dumb play by him. The guy was already down the ground, and you don't go down. I never understand what is it. Just momentum, or were guys overhyped or excited? I think it was just something that he thought he can get away with, and it was the right call. Yeah. I always talk about football as a physical game, but within the rules. And when you're going at someone's head with the shoulder and the helmet, he should have been thrown out. Yeah. I've seen targeting calls that Nebraska had a couple of years ago that should have been targeting calls, but this one right here was definitely need to be called. Fair call. There you go, Casey. Fair call. Well, we're all over the board already today. Yeah, be all over. I like being all over the board. Yeah, they're all over. Special teams.
Daniel asked about, he said we need more practice on special teams. I could definitely say our
First of all, how does he know they're not practicing for special teams?
Well, that's a fair statement. It's probably a generalized statement. It's based off of the product on the field.
It's a generalized, but people have to realize you only have so many hours a week you can practice a day, and so many hours a week you can practice. So you have to try to find a balance to make sure you cover everything. And so, what do you say? Practice more special team, which means takes away from the defensive practice time or the offensive practice time, or what? So you gotta let those coaches do what they do. Because the special team is an important part of the game, but how much time can you truly spend on special team daily without affecting your offense and your defense, the two most important parts?
And that's such a young team. They probably you're probably going to spend more time on the defense and offense.
Right. And you look at teams like Alabama, and I keep going referencing Alabama, Ohio State. They actually have starters on special teams. Nebraska has second stringers and some walk-ons. So So if you don't have your best players on special teams that think it's important, then this is what happens. Your special teams aren't going to be playing very well. Yeah.
Well, the one thing we've seen this year so far that we haven't dealt with in a long time, we've been a little spoiled, is our field goal kicking.
Well, he's a young kid.
And he's a freshman.
He's a freshman. A
lot of pressure, everything.
Yeah, you think that he could hit that, but he's a freshman.
But here's the thing. So I was talking about this yesterday, and I actually made that comment at first. And then I thought, would we give Martinez the same slack as a quarterback?
Yes, we have.
I think we have, but I think a lot of other people wouldn't. They would be much more harsh. Like, we're willing to let the kicker – that's just my take. We're letting the kicker slide a little bit, but –
This kid was a two-time national kicker of the state of Alabama. Player of the year for kicking in the state of Alabama. I'm not so concerned about him.
Yeah.
We had Brown here.
And we can't put the loss yesterday on him.
Still, if we make that field goal, we still lose. We're still losing the game by 2 points based off it's been 24-22. So I don't worry about that part of the game because I know the kid can kick the ball, and I know he's going to be a very good kicker here at Nebraska. So even the great kickers miss field goals.
Ken says Chip Kelly says no team practices for. So he wrote this weird. I think he's saying Chip Kelly said we're not going to spend practice time on special teams. We're only going to run. Our practice is live in the game. Now, if I'm reading that wrong,
well, that's Chip Kelly. That's his philosophy. Yeah. I know that Coach Osborne. We focused on special team. We had a special team period. So one day we'll work on punt. And then next day we'll work on punt returns. We always worked on field goals, extra point field goals. So it's just one of those deals to where every coach has their philosophy. Just like there's some coaches who will not practice it in the morning.
Yeah.
And there's some coaches who love practicing in the morning.
Yep.
Just different philosophies and what you think is the best for your program. So Chip Kelly, he don't practice special teams as live games. That's his deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean every coach is gonna have their own thing. Hey, Byron Carnes. Did I say that right?
Breon.
Sorry, Breon. You said, what's up?
What's up, Breon?
I said, my fault.
Remember, that's the quarterback, the cousin who played here.
Yeah, he went and played for Northern Iowa, didn't he?
Northern Iowa, yeah. Now he's back home, the offensive coordinator at the high school.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember.
Yep, shouts out to the Hurricanes. We're having a big win, 42-7 over Newsom this weekend.
Who's the Hurricanes?
Manatee Hurricanes.
Yeah.
My high school. Come on, get it right now.
I knew the high school. I didn't know the mascot.
Not the Miami Hurricanes.
No, I knew you weren't recruiting. Yeah. I knew you weren't shouting out for that. So Michael says, if you had to pick one thing, what would you put your finger on to being the major contributor, man, to the loss in yesterday's game?
Discipline. Way too many mistakes. You can't say it was the 2 interceptions, or you can't say it was a fumble, or you can't say it was a missed tackle here. All those are mistakes.
That's a fair statement because after the 2 interceptions, we still had an opportunity. But then you had the targeting call and the missed field goal, and I don't even say that. You're right. There was just a ton of mistakes yesterday.
A ton of mistakes. I saw undisciplined, unsound, unprepared team
which we've been seeing for the last 10 years.
Yeah, so that to me, I'm not going to say, well, this player cost us the game or the O-line cost us the game. Because if you look across the board, there were mistakes by every position. There was. There's not one position on that field you can say, oh, this group played a near perfect game. Not one.
Ooh, Galen says put Cam Taylor in there as the number two QB. So this is interesting. The only reason I say that is because, fans get highs and lows on certain people, and they're easy to just say, hey, replace Bunch, replace. If Cam Taylor was a better opportunity for Frost and team to win a game, don't you think they would put him in there?
Has the kid been practicing at quarterback?
Probably not. I don't think so.
So why would you do that? You put the guys in there that has been performing and practicing the whole fall camp and the whole spring. You just don't go take a guy because he played quarterback in high school, he hadn't worked there, and think he's going to learn the offense in a week. So you got to let those coaches make decisions on what they feel best going to give them a chance to win the game. And yes, they thought Bunch was the best guy. I didn't think Bunch played a terrible game.
I didn't think he played that bad.
But I just thought there was a lot of things that happened in that game to make it look like he played bad.
He didn't. So I think a lot of times we look for the flash, those moments of something special,
the wow factor,
and he doesn't show that. But he was pretty consistent, yeah. I thought. I mean, for the most,
outside of those 2 interceptions,
16 for 19 or something for 177. I mean,
yeah. So that's why people are so quick to jump to when they think the quarterback hadn't played well. He didn't play bad. Like I say, he made some bad decisions. Martinez made some bad decisions in his first game.
I mean, Justin just mentioned
part of that.
Justin just mentioned, like, Bunch was third-string quarterback, and now we're holding him to the standard that is much higher than what's – I mean, it's unrealistic to hold him to a standard that, he is – that he might not be capable of playing at. He wasn't the starter. He wasn't picked up on, didn't get a full ride scholarship. He's the third-string walk-on, and and he's done very well for what,
Yes. We didn't lose that game because of him. If that's what people are insinuating – Nebraska didn't lose because of the quarterback that was playing yesterday. They lost that game because they had way too many mental mistakes.
Greg, come on, man. Crazy questions. Not even gonna say it. But all right, so somebody else says, who was it? Charles, how can we correct the discipline problem?
You got to keep working on it.
Is it just time and reps?
Time and reps.
Reps.
Sometimes discipline problem, mental problems happen when kids are thinking too much instead of reacting.
Yeah.
But the more comfortable you get to feel with something, the more familiar you get with it, the better you play. And there's no difference in your work. Like what you do for work. When you first start your job, you're sitting there thinking about how to do things. And the more you do it, and the more success you start having, then the mistakes you have, you won't have them anymore. And so it's still just 2 games. It's still implementing a new offense.
Yeah.
It's still implementing a new defense. And so it's going to take time, just reps. And you can rep it all you want in practice. But it doesn't mean anything until you get into a lot of situations where it really matters.
And we got to have we got to be realistic about our expectations. Like,
fans aren't realistic.
I know. And we've talked about this 100 times.
And I get people say that I'm anti-Frost, I'm anti-University. No, I'm a realist.
Baby in Washington posted yesterday.
Shouts out to Fabian.
What's that?
Shouts out to Fabian.
His wife graduated from Florida State.
Yep.
And so he said Nebraska fans and Florida State fans are by far the most spoiled fans in the country.
They are.
They don't have realistic expectations or understanding of what it takes to build a team.
No, and it's okay to have school pride and think that your school's going to win every game. I think Nebraska will win every game.
Yeah.
I hope they win. But I'm also a realist and say, no, they're not going to win this game. They're not going to win that game. But you still got to play the game. And I think right now Nebraska expectations are way too high based off what we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
And based on, look what Scott Frost did at Central Florida when he was there his 2 years. People.
What's different? So you're going to say it's different. And it's a
total different situation.
I don't know if people understand that.
Here's the reason why it's different. 2 years before Scott Frost took over Central Florida, they were 11-1 and won the Fiesta Bowl and beat Baylor. I think Baylor was ranked 4 or 5 in the country. Yeah. Okay. The next year, the coach got old. He got tired. He didn't coach. He didn't recruit. So they got rid of Scott. They got rid of O'Leary, brought in Scott. Okay. Scott goes in, and it wasn't like Central Florida didn't have athletes. Central Florida didn't have athletes. They have athletes. Yeah. They had them. They just needed someone to come in with some energy and enthusiasm and coach them.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And then you saw what happened the next year when he goes undefeated. But he only recruited 2 classes there. So it wasn't like that. Those are his players that he recruited. Yeah. Now, of course, he got the quarterback that he signed. He was a freshman. But a lot of those guys were already there before he got there. It's the difference here is that we don't have those same athletes that they had at Central Florida when we took over. So that's the difference.
The recruiting game is much different here.
The recruiting game is much different. In Florida. I mean, they can go within 90 miles north and south and west and fill a roster with 3 and 4 or 5 star players. Nebraska can't do that, so they have to expand. But that is the difference, and a coach is not going to make that much difference when you're still playing with the same talent. All you can do is continue to try to upgrade it. But people saying Nebraska going to win, go 11-1, and him saying that we're going to be playing we were looking to play in December for the Big Ten championship. Really?
Well,
really?
What's
I think Nebraska's going to play the Big Ten championship once since they've been in the Big Ten, and that's when they got beat by Wisconsin by a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And you think that you're going to come in your first year win? It's good to have expectations.
We got destroyed. Wasn't it like 70-something? We got destroyed.
20, but you still got to be a realist. And fans, I'm going to say it until I can't say it no more. Stop having these high expectations for this year and maybe next year, because it's not going to be there. You got to revamp your whole roster to the things that you do.
Bo says last year's squad was 4-8. Frost inherited an undisciplined team. It takes time to build discipline and mental toughness.
It does. But I agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. You go back and look at Bo Pelini's team.
Yeah.
Were they disciplined?
You know what's interesting about that? Is they seemed extremely disciplined when he was a defensive coordinator.
Right.
They seemed really disciplined.
They seemed disciplined.
And as a head coach, they seemed like it was chaos all the time.
But they had players who can make up for those.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you got Dominican Sue, you got Levante David.
Yeah.
You got Alfonso Denard. I mean, you got players.
You really did. Yeah.
You know, sometimes you make plays. But when you don't have those type of players, you have to be sound in everything you do, the little things. And right now, and for like the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, Nebraska hadn't been sound.
Yeah.
And you just seeing what you saw yesterday in the first 2 games with all the mistakes is no different than it happened in the previous 3 years. It's mistakes, the same mistakes you saw, and some of them are by the same players.
Yeah.
So that's what needs to change. Go back to basics.
Well, Charles says, he was saying that yesterday, that Riley's players are still here. It'll take a couple of years. But there's some of those players have flipped, like we seen Barry last week.
Yeah,
Barry.
There are some players who have done great things with the coaching change. But then there's some players who hadn't gotten better. And so that's going to happen.
So what about the positive? Let's talk about the positive things we've seen yesterday. What did you think? Let's talk about Washington.
I saw a team that competed.
What did you think of Washington?
I saw Washington. I mean, he showed some flashes. You know, the negative part about his game is that he carries the ball too far away from his body. You know, but I saw him make a lot of runs. But I'm like, wow! Look, did you see that play? Did you see that move there?
Did you think? So I'm not critiquing. I love that the moves he's making. In my mind, though, when I'm watching him, he seems a little slow.
I don't think he's slow.
And that could be me.
I don't think he's slow. I think he's learning how to play the game at this level.
And he definitely lacks some size.
Well, he's a freshman. You know,
he is small, man.
The only freshman only freshman I've known to come in and play a lot that had the size and speed and strength was Amon Green.
Hey, Clinton Child's a pretty big boy too, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't no Amon Green when it comes to.
I don't remember
coming in as a freshman and playing.
You're right. As a freshman, Amon Green was a beast. You're right.
I know Clinton was a beast. Damon was
but Amon
coming in as a true freshman.
Started for a while there when Phillips was there, right? Yeah, that's right.
As a true freshman, rushed for 1,000 yards his freshman year. So that's what people need to look at. This is a different type of back.
Yeah, he's the only football player in Washington. The only football player that I've seen that comes in and his football pants are completely baggy.
Yeah, well,
he's a small guy. He's tall. He looks like he's tall.
And people still have to remember that he didn't qualify until like the last week, the week before fall camp started.
He put some size on, a little bit of size on him, man.
He's going to be
a monster.
I saw good things from him. I saw good things out of Bell.
Yeah.
I saw good things out of Zigbo.
Yeah.
You know, the receiving game, it was okay, but I'm glad they're targeting Stanley Morgan more.
Yeah.
If he's your potential first-round draft pick or second-round draft pick, why not make him be the guy in the receiving game? I saw Lindsey do some things well. Defensively, I saw the defensive line play a little bit better. Were they perfect? No. So I just think that there's some things that you can build off. There's a lot of positive you can build off on. But the negative, the undisciplined stuff outweighs all the positive, and that's why they lost the game.
So what's it? Ken says, let's talk black shirt. 10 sacks in 2 games and probably close to 20 tackles.
Okay.
Okay.
That's positive. That's positive. But they still gave up big home. Still gave up big runs. They still have a lot of undisciplined plays out there. So you can talk about the 20 sacks and up to 10 sacks and 20 sacks, how many sacks and tackle for loss. Is that helping us win football games?
That's what I care about now. Like,
think about that. Is that helping us win football games? Would you take 7 sacks and 10 tackle for loss if Nebraska was 2-0?
Yeah. If we're 2-0.
Yeah, so numbers to me don't mean anything. The only thing that matters to me is the wins and losses.
Well, I think at the end of halftime, first half, Nebraska had almost double the yards.
Right.
And the time possession was greater. All those stats look great. And but here we are. We were losing.
We still lost the game. We don't care what kind of stats we have. We're still losing the game.
I think we go back and we talk about, tradition's going to be restored. Black shirts are going to be restored. We got 10 sacks. Like, all these things are great. They're all great. But, man, I really would just like to see more W's in that column.
I said it from day one. That's all I care about.
That's it.
That's all I care about, wins and losses. I don't care if this guy wins a Heisman Trophy. I don't care if this guy was a National Freshman Player of the Week. It doesn't mean anything if you're not winning games. To me, it doesn't.
If we would have pulled that off yesterday, we probably wouldn't be picking on Bunch so much.
Who's picking? I'm not picking on Bunch.
I mean, just in general, I'm seeing a lot of the comments about Bunch. But hey, we also Troy had some big plays on us.
People, let me ask you this question. Let me ask this question here. If everyone want to pick on Bunch, do you think that was the best play call offense yesterday? And that's me asking people, the fans out there, questions. That question: do you think the offense play calling was subpar or great or average or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. That has part of how he plays too. Everyone keeps saying, well, he's our third-string quarterback. He shouldn't be in this position. Well, if that's the case, then why don't you call stuff that you feel that he can handle to make him successful?
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about that.
And then this is not me picking on anyone. This is just everyone wants to blame him. Analyze the play calling with him in there. Did they do stuff that he can truly handle? I don't know that. I'm not in the practices. Did they seem confused sometimes on stuff that was being called? So instead of jumping on him, there's a lot more that falls into how he plays, especially when he's a third-string quarterback. He's a walk-on quarterback.
Yeah.
So look at it that way too. Instead of just saying, well, he played bad. Sometimes as coaches, when you can know you got a guy who was going to be your third stringer, and then now he has to start the second game of the season, there's a reason why he's third string.
Yeah.
So do stuff that he's capable of doing to have success. Eliminate those mistakes. Don't put him in positions to make the mistakes. You protect him.
I agree. I mean, we've talked about this several times. We talked about your freshman year, the same concept, right? How do you set it up? Wayne says hello from Boise State. Whoa. Or, sorry, Boise, Idaho. Boise, Idaho.
Yep, Boise. The blue turf state.
I don't get why I'm surprised they haven't changed that rule yet.
What, the turf?
Yeah.
Why would they change that?
It just seems so.
It's just what they want to do. You can't tell a school what.
I know,
a
but
football field doesn't have to be green.
I also thought that. So I get that, but it's almost like it could throw you off. It could throw people's. It works to their advantage, right? Which power to Boise. But here's the other thing I thought was interesting. I think it's interesting, like Troy's helmets, how they had the metallic shine, the mirror almost.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I think they looked great.
I did too.
But I'm almost surprised they allow that in football now because of the reflection of the sun and how that could throw you off. I'm just kind of surprised they haven't done anything. But it did look cool.
Hey, the question that I have is, does it meet the standards of being safe?
Well, that's what I'm questioning.
But
I guess
I thought
they did look cool.
I thought it was a cool helmet.
I did. They're probably one of the coolest helmets I've seen.
If I get my hands on one of those, I'll get one of those and just have it in my house. That was a cool helmet.
It was.
That was a cool helmet.
It was. I'm not going to argue that. They did look good. They looked real good. I had somebody else just ask. What? I had a good question here. Do you think this isn't the question, but here's a different one. I don't know. This is an opinion state. Thomas said, "Do you think the whole team is bought in?" And let me add to that. So Thomas said, "Has the whole team? Do you think the whole team is bought into this? To Scott Frost's system?"
No.
The other thing I thought was interesting is at the press conference after the game yesterday, Scott actually said he talked to the team and he made the comment that if you're not all in, you can leave. Something I'm rewording that slightly, but basically that's the gist.
I was hoping that came up because I don't agree, and I agree with him saying that, but I don't agree with him saying it right after the game after a loss. That should have been something that should have been said in the meeting room.
Would you, as a
in the team meeting, that's not something you say right after the game because emotions are flowing.
And do you say, well, that's a great point. And do you say that to the media, or should that be behind closed doors?
To me, that's a closed door conversation with your team. It has to be.
Yeah.
Because now you're saying that what you're doing now is showing your frustrations to the media. You're saying right now that you don't think your whole team is bought in.
Yeah, that's what I read. Yeah.
You don't do that. So once again, what is it? It sounds like he's throwing kids up under the bus. It sounds like a Bo Pelini statement to me.
I was really surprised by it. I was really surprised.
And I get it's frustrated, and he's frustrated. He's puzzled why things are happening the way they were, that he didn't see it. But once again, you do not throw your kids on the bus. You do not say that to the media that I told the kids if they're not in, if they haven't bought in right now, then they can leave. Yeah. No, that's behind a closed door, private meeting between the coaches and the players. That should never got out in the media. He should never said that in the media.
Yeah.
Because now, how can those kids look at him and respect him when he made a statement like that and he put it out in the public? But everyone has their own way of motivating in different ways. But me personally, I will never said that. I don't fault him for saying it, but that's a Monday morning team meeting. When you got everybody in there, you go on camp. That's when you fire them up and say, "Hey guys, we got something special built here. Not everyone's bought in." And that's behind closed doors.
I didn't think about the emotion part too, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you can tell he's exhausted, he's frustrated, he's trying to figure out what to do, and he's not getting the answers that he thought he can have.
Yeah.
And so I don't fault him for saying it to the team, but I wouldn't have said it right after the game. I wouldn't have said it because those players are crushed too, and I wouldn't have told the media this is what I told them.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting comment.
Because I guarantee people are going to jump on that statement.
Oh. Yeah. It was a questionable. It's the first time I've heard something to rally. It lets you, gives you a little bit of insight to what possibly could be happening behind closed doors. And it's not what you want to hear already from a coach.
No.
Honestly, even if it's true, it's not, I don't want to hear that because.
And I'm pretty sure it is true that there got guys on, because you got to keep up. Remember, a lot of these guys weren't recruited by this staff.
I also don't know if I would. Me personally, so I try to reflect this. If this was my team and my organization, not necessarily on football, I don't know if I would have made that general statement to the entire team. Because there's a point where, like, here, I believe in setting the expectations, but if people aren't buying in, unless you don't know who those people are, then it's time for one-on-ones. And you start questioning and having those conversations.
No. I'm going to disagree with you on that. Here's the reason I'm going to disagree with you on that. Because you don't want to single people out. So you make it in a team setting, and those guys know who aren't buying in, and they know, but you don't single a person out, because eventually they're gonna wean themselves out of it,
and you create that peer pressure or that peer accountability.
But what you're doing, you're putting them on notice and say, guys, you better buy in, or there's gonna be some changes. So I agree with him addressing it as a team, and not singling guys out. Now, assistant coaches know, so I'm pretty sure assistant coaches going to sit there and talk to the kids, hey, you need to. But if I'm the head coach, you talk to the mass. But I disagree with him telling it to the media. What he said.
When Osborne was there, now I know it's very, very, very different, but when Osborne was there, if there was discipline needing to be put down onto certain players, did Osborne step in to do that, or did he allow the assistant coach to run and kind of handle that?
It depends on what it was.
That's probably a fair statement too.
It depends on what it was.
The severity and
it's the severity of it, and if the player was a player who always got in trouble.
Yeah.
But the assistant coaches usually handle the disciplinary actions. We also had a unity council.
Yeah.
We had a point system, and so you go before if you get 3. I think if you got 3 points, you go in front of the unity council.
How many points did you get?
Well, I got a point here and a point there, a point here and a point there. You know, I wasn't no saint, you know.
No, I'm sure everybody kind of did.
Yeah, everybody got points for this, points for that. But you go in front of you if you get 3.
Yeah.
And now if you get 4, now you go and Coach Osborne off. You get 5, now you get suspended for a game.
Yeah.
But the only way you get those points back, you have to have a perfect week the next week. You can't get any points the next week, then they start coming off. You know, so that helped us. And so we basically disciplined ourselves. But if someone did something, then the coaches, like Coach Steele, will make guys run the stadium step. Hey, I heard you missed a couple classes this week. Go run the stadium steps. It was that type of deal.
Oh, we're not talking about Jabby.
No, I don't talk about guys who aren't here.
That's long over. A lot
that was one of those guys. That was one of those kids that didn't buy in.
Yeah, and he did what he needed to do.
And he did what he needed to do. So,
yeah. Oh, what else? I'm looking for a question.
A lot of it's the what if factor. What if Jebby is here? What if this guy was there? What if this? There is no what ifs.
There's a lot of that right now. That's what this conversation has gone to. Is a lot of what ifs.
There is no what ifs. You play the people that you have.
Oh, boom, 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 boom. Somebody asked, "What do you think is a realistic?" Man, what is a realistic record for this year at this point?
No, you tell me. Everyone thought I was crazy when I said 6-6.
You are crazy because they're not going to go 6-6 now.
Everyone thought I was crazy when I said, "Oh no, they're going to go 7-5, or they're going to go 8-3, 8-4."
Yeah.
Even my buddies that played in Nebraska, tell me you're crazy. They're going to win more games than 6. I'm like, really? Have you seen this schedule?
Oh, did you see? Totally. We're going to play Illinois later this year. Did you see AJ Bush started?
Yeah.
For Illinois.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm telling you. Did you see our schedule from the start of the year? They had to win every home game to win. That's 6 victories there.
Yeah.
But for every home game they lost, then they got still one on the road.
Yep.
Do you honestly think they're going to beat Wisconsin?
No. Despite the fact that Wisconsin.
Despite the loss they had yesterday.
No.
Do you think they're going to beat Michigan?
Nope.
Do you think they're going to beat Ohio State?
Absolutely not.
Do you think they're going to beat Iowa?
No.
Do you think?
I think there's a chance. There's a chance.
Do you think they're going to beat Northwestern?
There's a slight chance.
There's always a chance.
There's a chance. We're not favored in any of those games.
My point exactly.
We're not favored in any of those games.
Now, do you think they're going to beat Purdue from what we saw? What we're seeing now?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how we win that game.
What about Illinois?
I'm hoping. Here's what I think. I'm
asking questions.
Yeah, we're going to win Illinois. Okay. I can't say no to every game, and I'm hoping.
I'm saying, do you think just based on what you're seeing right now?
No.
That's so
possibly.
So
I'm hoping. Yeah.
So if anyone can legitimately sit here and send me 6 victories right now from the schedule that we have, I will be glad to say I'm wrong at the end of the year.
I'm hoping by the time we get to games like Illinois and Iowa, we have more discipline. We have some stability.
I'm pretty sure we will.
So I'm basing it off what I see today, but I'm hoping by then. But they're going to have that too.
Yeah. So that's over. So when I said Nebraska's going to go 6-6 this year, which is 2 games better than last year.
Yep.
They still go to a bowl game, get the extra practice. They might get 4 victories now.
There's no bowl game this year, in my mind. So
they might win 4 this year.
So, and I think we've talked about this probably every single year. If they don't go to a bowl game, which it looks like right now might be very hard. That's a Hail Mary idea. What do you give those? What do the fans and what do the kids on the team? What should they be playing for? What is the goal?
Getting better.
Is it just getting better every week?
Getting better. Get them go out and perform the best you can each week, and hopefully something good happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully you win those games. That's what they plan. That should be every week. It should have been from the Colorado game to yesterday.
I'm trying to figure out how
Michigan next week. You go out there and say we're going to play the best game we can play, and we win it. But guess what? We know we're getting better.
So what I read from that, or what I hear, and because what I'm trying to do is quite honestly set my expectations. What am I excited for watching Nebraska football every week? Because a lot of times we think of the long-term picture. The long-term picture is not there this year. So I think it's when I hear that, it's like I really should just be excited week to week and hope to see a good game and see a improvement on that week, and then the next week start over. I'm going to reset.
That's what fans are saying. Hey, at least we fought to the end.
You're right. That is what fans.
That's what they're saying now. So if that's the case, then from this season now, don't worry about wins and losses. Say, hey, did they improve as a team?
Just have fun with it and see what they've done.
Did they get better as a team?
I'm gonna create a. You know how you do the calendar and everybody marks the wins and losses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna create a calendar and we're just gonna mark all the moral victories.
Right, because in sports, in the college, and in football, they say you improve the most between the first game and the second game.
Really?
Yeah, that you improve the most. Because the first game, you figure out what you have. In the second game, you know what you got, to work on, and now you go out there and execute that plan. Ooh. Did you see an improvement from the first game and the second game?
We went the opposite, I thought.
I'm just asking the question.
No, I didn't think. I think we went the other way. Personally, I think we fell off a little bit. And that's not just quarterback. That's
just as a team.
Wow.
Did this team improve from the first week from Colorado to Detroit as a team?
I did not see that.
Now, there are some players who improved, like Mo Washington. He improved. Will Honus made some good plays, but he had some mistakes. So then you can call out players who improved, but as a team, because this is a team game.
Yeah.
Did Nebraska improve from the first week to the second game? I'm not going to answer that question, but I want the fans to ask that, think in their minds.
Troy did. Man, they look good.
Yeah, Troy they look good. They walk into the bully's house in the bully's backyard and beat them up in their own backyard. Kent
just says, I just want them to play balls out every week. When he says that, right away, you said his name earlier, it always makes me think of Levante David.
Yeah.
No matter what the game was, that guy played balls out every week, man. I love that.
But not every player is going to play balls out every week because they don't have it in them to play balls out every week.
Yeah. Michigan. Oh, good thing we don't play Kansas. I think Kansas. They won yesterday. They won pretty big. They played Rutgers.
They're 2-1. They're 2-1.
They played Rutgers. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but people, I'm just telling you, this team right here. What's happening now? People set their expectations too high because Scott Frost is going to be the head coach. He's going to change things up. Blah blah blah. About all those narratives that you heard.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to realize that. Wait a minute. This is a tougher situation than he thought it was.
Yeah.
And it's tougher than it's in worse shape than we realize as fans. That one guy's not going to change it. It could have been Nick Saban.
Yeah.
This year. Now, defense might have been playing a lot better, but he'd been going through the same growing pains.
Yeah.
He's been going through the same growing pains. So for what I'm trying to say, people, it didn't matter who the coach was going to be. When you make that change at head coach, there's going to be growing pains because there's a reason why they were 4-8 last year. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Okay? There's a reason why they say, Mike, you got to go. You're a nice guy, but you got to go. There's a reason.
Yeah.
And you can have 50 new players on this roster from last year. So that's another hurdle.
Didn't you always say you got to give a coach 3 or 4 years?
It's a 4 or 5 year process. You got to give them and I honestly believe this, and I'm going to stick by this. There's certain situations, opportunities that you get to where you're right, it's just the right coach. But those teams had the players already.
Yeah.
For instance, Bob Stoops at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Urban Myers at Ohio State and at Florida. Nick Saban coming in the first couple of years and doing what he did.
Yeah.
They already had the talent. They just needed someone to come in and manage it and put the pieces together. But I very rarely have seen a program that where Nebraska has been for a coach to come in and change it right away. So the only way you're going to change that is by what? Recruiting.
Yeah.
So you got to give a coach at least 4 years to get his first class in. And that's why all the players that he didn't recruit are out of the system. And out of the program.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you can say, this is my team. I finally got my team because they're all the players you recruited. Then after that fourth year, the fifth year is like, okay, now let's get going.
Yeah.
He goes to Central Florida, had great success there because he already had the players there.
Yeah.
He had enough great players there. So he just came in and put together a staff manager and put a little life into the program. We don't have those players now. And we didn't have them because we did.
Well, it's obvious. We got third-string quarterback walk-on playing for us right now. So, I mean, it's obvious.
So I'm first person to say, I've always said it, a coach needs 4 or 5 years to get his imprint on the program.
Yeah.
I said that with Mike Riley. I said that with Bill. I've said it all along. People say, oh no, you got 3 years should be enough. No, 3 years not enough. But you still got people that you didn't recruit on this team that hadn't bought in, but they're not going to get a scholarship up because it's education. Well, let him get his full class in here, and then say, "Oh, now, is he ready?
Yeah.
Can he do it?"
And it's hard. I'm assuming. I mean, you got Adrian in there. You got 18, 19-year-old kids.
Yeah, but I've seen 18, 19-year-old kids play at other universities and have success.
That's true.
So
I'll stop my.
Serious though, I don't want to use it because there's freshmen. Yeah. There's freshmen all over the United States that playing and having success. So once you name the starter, then that means you're capable enough to be out here playing this game. You're capable enough to go out here and make decisions that you're supposed to make to be successful. Now, will there be growing pains, lumps? Of course. But if he's the best guy on the team, then he should be playing.
Somebody asked. I didn't see my. Somebody said their nephew's on the team. Yeah. Somebody asked if you think you've seen more improvement on the offense or defense so far this year. I don't.
Honestly, I haven't seen much improvement over as a group, as a unit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that much improvement on each side of the ball. Okay. Now I've seen sparks.
Yeah. From
certain players, but as a unit, I haven't seen it. And people beat me up, people. I don't care. But I'm watching the game, and I hope you guys are watching the same game that I'm watching. Yesterday, did the offensive line play, and not saying it bad, did you see the same guys running, missing blocks, and guys getting blown up in the backfield on handoffs that you saw the previous years? On defense, did you see guys missing tackles, one-on-one tackle, missing tackles in the hole? They should have made the tackle. Did you see what DBs getting beat? Did you see wide receivers not running the proper route? I hope you were, because that's what I saw yesterday. And like I said, I was watching the game with one of my former teammates, and we both looked at each other and we laughed at each other. We laughed jokingly, like, "Wow, that guy just got beat up." Well, the defensive line was 2 yards in the backfield before the handoff even happened. That's stuff that we saw last year.
Yeah.
Wow, how did that guy miss that tackle?
Yep.
That's stuff we saw last year. But now, me saying that, I seen sparks and flashes, from certain players, but as a unit, I haven't seen improvement.
Aaron says we can't intimidate other teams at home. How in the world are we going to intimidate teams on the road?
I've always said you don't protect your backyard.
I know you like that comment.
You don't protect your backyard, you don't have anything. And I asked the question last week. Since 2000, how many home games has Nebraska lost?
I don't even know.
Versus 1975 to 1999.
Yeah.
How many home games?
A ridiculous amount. I don't know what the numbers are, but
teams were afraid to come to play Nebraska in the Lincoln. Teams aren't afraid anymore. They're not. Yeah. When teams know they can come in here and they can win the game, then something that's bad. Because seriously, we won a lot of those games because teams were afraid to come in here. They were.
Yeah.
They were afraid to come in the stadium. They're like, "Oh, gee, we got to go to Nebraska. It's going to be loud, the fans, and then they're going to run the ball right down our throat. It's going to be."
Yeah.
They come in now, it's loud and it's that. But Nebraska doesn't throw punches back most of the time. If you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And I'm going to hit you again. You hit me another time, I'm going to hit you 2 more times. I'm going to wear you down.
Yeah.
Nebraska's not wearing you down.
I thought yesterday we'd wear down Troy. That's what I was thinking in my mind.
And guess what? Troy threw the first punch, Nebraska didn't respond.
Yeah.
Troy coming through another punch, Nebraska didn't respond. Then Troy coming through another punch, then Nebraska finally responded. And then they kept responding. And then Troy came off the ropes again and kept throwing punches, and Nebraska didn't respond.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
I'm really impressed with Troy, actually. I mean, I don't have to take away from any of the other talk, but wow.
Troy's a good football team.
Fourth quarter, they were still going at it.
Didn't they win 10 games last year?
Did they?
I thought they won 10 games last year.
I don't know.
Troy's a good football team.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know.
I thought they won 10 games the last two or 3 years. Then the Sun Belt, they're still a Division I suit. Okay, Troy's a good football team, and we said it last week, and I said it. Hey, don't just think Troy's gonna come in here and lie down. They're gonna push Nebraska. Did I not say that? And it happened. So don't take anything away from Troy.
Troy lost 2 games last year.
Yeah, don't take anything away from Troy.
Whoa. Interesting. They lost to Boise State last year too.
Yep, on the road.
Beat LSU. I mean, yeah. Wow.
See?
I guess we totally well, crap. Even 2016, they lost 3 games. They lost, and one of the games happened to be a fairly close loss to Clemson.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So, that game's history. Nebraska's 0-2 for the first time since, what, 1957?
Yeah.
Where does Nebraska go from here?
That's my question to you. So we're going to Ann Arbor.
We're going to Ann Arbor. Play the best guys and hope that your game plan and what you're doing works.
Yeah.
Do I think Nebraska's going to win this game? No. No, I don't. If Nebraska win this game, that means those coaches have done a great job of getting those kids motivated. They put together the perfect game plan. But I just don't see Nebraska beating Michigan. And I hope that I'm wrong. For the sake of Nebraska, the sake of the state of minds of Husker Nation, I hope that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I really do, but I just any realist out there will see if you on paper right now that Nebraska is not going to win that game.
Oh my God, who just said that? Todd said 1997 payback. I don't know if that's gonna
payback for what?
Well, they were co-national championships, right? Yeah.
So how's it a payback? I mean, we played Michigan several times since then. And we beat them once. We beat them once, and we lost to them twice.
Yeah, I'm not going to go. Yeah,
so
people get caught up in the
past. The past is the past.
And the Frost thing.
The University of Nebraska is not the same.
So Michigan hasn't really played anybody this year. So well, I mean,
but they lost a close game to Notre Dame on the road, the first game of the season with a new quarterback.
Last 2 games have been
okay, but
they have
a defense.
They've had more reps than we have.
Yes. And they're at home in the big house.
Close game to Notre Dame, too.
Yeah, yeah. Notre Dame scored late in that game.
Yeah.
So I hope that I'm wrong. I really do, but I just don't see a victory this week. I see Nebraska going 1-3 this week. And it's 11 o'clock kickoff, too.
11 o'clock.
On Fox Sports, I think it is.
Where are we playing? Yeah, FS1.
Yep.
Yeah. It's Fox Sports. Wow. I mean, there's a great, highly likely chance they're going to go 0-3. And then it's Purdue. Which we have not done good against Purdue the last several years.
They beat us a couple years ago, and we scored a late touchdown on them last year to win it. Nebraska very easily could be 1-6.
Wow, it could be really rough the next. I mean, we're talking Purdue, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Minnesota. It's a rough run. Every one of those games are rough.
Flip a coin. Which team is going to show up?
All right, well, I'll be there watching.
I'll be there watching, too. I'll be at home. Me and the kids.
Mark says we're a 20-plus underdog right now to Michigan.
I'm not surprised by that.
That don't surprise me. Yeah. Not at all.
We might be underdogs the rest of the year. Think about that.
Yeah, I don't
we might be underdogs in the rest of the games.
Yeah. Minnesota, maybe. Illinois, maybe.
Well,
you're right. You're right.
Very easy to be underdogs in all the games.
And if we're not an underdog, we're definitely a slim margin favorite.
Yeah.
Slim margin.
And the ones that the
maybe
home game,
because of home.
Because of home.
Yeah.
You give the home team 3 points.
This is the same. We've been in this spot for a while. So,
all we can do is just hope that they improve each week.
What I hope is when we look at if they're last year, what were we 8-4,
4-8,
or 4-8? Sorry, if we were 4-8. If we're 4-8 or whatever this year, I just hope it's because, in my mind at least, I want to feel good because it's not because we were 4-8 last year because we gave up a lot. We gave up.
Right.
I hope this year. I just hope that we're 4-8, or if we're 4-8, it's because we're fighting and scratching all the way through it, and we're at least trying versus just rolling over. At the end, it's still the same, and I'm not hoping for moral victories, but I want to enjoy the football season. Yeah. I want to enjoy it.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this football season.
Even yesterday was, because of the Colorado game, first of all, that was a super exciting game, but even yesterday, all the way till the end, I was super hopeful. I was still watching. I thought there was a great chance for Nebraska, right. And they just couldn't. They just couldn't execute.
They couldn't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
They couldn't get out of their own way.
And when Bunch threw that interception at the end, it was like, that's nail in the coffin, right? They
can't get out of their own way. So, but this year, people just be prepared for growing pains because it's going to happen. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I did tell you so. It's going to have growing pains this year.
Yeah.
People lower your expectations for this first year because obviously the frost factor is not doing what everyone thought he would do.
Yeah, he's a coach like everybody else.
He's a coach like everyone else. He still got to prepare guys. He still got to prepare a team.
Yeah.
But there's other coaches out there that are preparing for him too. And I want to see the University of Nebraska football program do well. I want to see them competing for championships again. But let's take some time. Let the program work itself into that. Don't continue putting all these high expectations.
Yeah.
On a program that hasn't had any high expectations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
One guy doesn't change the expectations. It takes a lot of people. And that comes from the administration, from the Board of Regents, to the university, the president and chancellors, to the athletic director, to the associate athletic director, down to the head coaches, to the assistant coaches, to the players. Everything, all the pieces have to be in place, and everybody has to be on the same page to understand what's going on.
It's a monster of a system that has to be well oiled to pull this off these days.
Yes.
You just see it. It's just so many moving parts.
Yes. Ohio State has a well oiled. Alabama, well oiled.
And the benefit.
Clemson, well oiled.
And a lot of
Oklahoma has a well oiled right now. Because everyone from the regents to the trustees, all the way down to the players, they understand what's at stake. So that's what we got. That's what we got. Texas is struggling.
Yeah,
Texas should be a lot better than what they are.
They should be. Yeah,
they're second wealthiest college football team program.
Is that what it is? Second? I knew they were up in the top three.
A&M took over number one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When you talk about money.
There's so much money down there and so much talent.
And so if anybody should be disappointed, it's what they're paying, what the return they're getting out of Texas.
Yeah. It just goes to show how hard this is.
It's not easy.
And when you come in the Midwest,
it's even tougher.
Weather sucks.
It's even tougher.
It just goes to show how magical, what Osborne did and Devaney did. It's really, just shows how special that was.
It's easy. A lot of people, it's probably easy to get there, but it's harder to sustain it.
See, that's why I was like, I could see success in Frost. With what's happening, I believe they will find success. But to sustain it, wow.
That's the question.
Because, how do you keep assistant coaches and all these people, the system intact? How do you hold on to that now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. It's insane.
So till next week, hopefully. I think I'll be on the plane at 11 o'clock, so we probably
what are we doing?
Yeah, maybe we can do it right after the game.
Are you flying during the game?
Yeah, no, I'm in town Saturday. It's Sunday out of town. Sunday at 11.
So maybe do a special Saturday edition?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Right after the game, maybe we do a post game or after the game and do something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that way.
Maybe Saturday?
Yeah.
If everybody's good with that, I think that'd be kind of cool. We haven't done one before on a Sunday, I don't think.
On the Saturday, just going right after the game's over with, and maybe a couple of hours so people can get their druthers together and realize what happened and do it.
Cool. Let's do it next Saturday.
Okay. Until then, people.
All right. That's it. We're out. Maybe. If I can figure this out.